What is the trashiest thing you have ever witnessed? I saw a woman let her 2-year-old have a drag on her cigarette. This is probably the worst one I've seen. Some of the ones above this are definitely trashy, but this one is the worst on this list. In the checkout line in Walmart. How many of these take place in a Walmart? And the woman in the line next to me was checking out. She had a toddler in her cart, maybe a year old or a little older. He was wearing a very sodden diaper. All of a sudden the kid just starts peeing again. That pool diaper couldn't soak up another drop and the new contents drained straight through the cart and onto the floor. It made an audible splashing sound. The woman never looked around or acknowledged the incident. She continued paying for her items and left the mess for someone else to clean up. I felt so bad for the kid. How many of these take place in a Walmart? About the same as the number of jokes that begin with a guy walks into a bar. I watched a family in front of me where the mum was struggling with 3 really ill-mannered children while trying to check out. Dad is just playing some BS game on his phone while she is overwhelmed and then asks for $20. While she finishes checking out, he immediately walks over to a scratch lotto ticket machine and blows all of it. Then comes back and asks for more before she has even realized what he did. I just instantly thought that guy is trash. A group of people I used to work with went out bar hopping. The one closest to management level had to pee. She couldn't wait the 20 yards to the next bar, found an unlocked car, pulled up a mini skirt and peed in the passenger's seat. This is why you lock your car, among many other reasons. What a horrible cow. I'd pull my pants down and go in front of everyone on the street before I'd ruin some poor person's car. Woman in Walmart spraying herself with Lysol in her armpits and down the front of her pants, then put the can back and drove off on her asshole. Walmart shoppers are a different breed. I saw a pregnant woman shoot up with dirty Molly once. I'm not sure if that actually fits the definition of trashy, but it's something. I worked retail for a while. One day we had a lady bring in a bag of clothes to return. When she pulled them out and laid them on the counter, roaches scattered everywhere. She acted like nothing happened. College-age dude fricking a lady with Down syndrome behind a trash dump in broad daylight. Friend saw a different college-age dude last time around banging the same lady in another sketchy place near the apartment complex. I saw a drunk 20-something pretty blonde chick once take a shoot in a bush behind the Fresh Slice in Central City. Her friend tried to stop people from seeing, but she was drunk too, so she fell down on the shooter friend. That wasn't a great night for them, I think. You know those drop-off bins where you can leave clothes and household items to be donated to homeless people? A girl I went to college with would throw her trash in those things just because she thought it was funny. There's literally a trash bin right next to it, but she threw her trash in the donations anyway. She would also talk about it with pride, as if it was the most hilarious prank of all time. I knew a girl who used to prank call helplines. Completely changed how I saw her. It's weird how much pride some people take in being dongs to lesser people. Like, congrats, you just made someone's life harder, because you didn't like how hard their life was. Those donation bins suck too. Mind, they're all for profit and the clothes are sold, not donated, but that doesn't justify this. Man clipping his toenails on the bus. We were in the middle of fricking nowhere and the bus came only every 40 minutes, otherwise I would have gotten off. Quite literally trash. I work at a Target and I have to say, people will literally throw trash onto the ground because walking 100 feet to the nearest trash can is too inconvenient. I have found everything from fast food, to masks, to even used baby diapers. I was walking out of the store once and saw a car driving, window down, so it was a woman, without a seatbelt, smoking, and breastfeeding her kid. When I was about 12, my mum made me have a sleepover with her co-worker's daughter. The co-worker handed her 15-year-old son a cartoon of cigarettes and told him it better last him until next payday. I grew up around some shady shoot, but even my parents would have beat the shoot out of me if they caught me smoking, which I did eventually end up doing. Knew a guy who bragged about doing coke while visiting Auschwitz. Like he talked about it like it was some badass accomplishment and would bring it up anytime someone talked about traveling. Unfortunately, I witnessed a homeless couple fornicating in a local bus stop on my way home from grabbing some milk one evening. Oh, and about a block away on a separate occasion there were two others. How can I put this? Furiously making out with fully exposed breast licking action. We're talking Main Street, downtown Montreal, likely around 8:39 p.m. Both times, let's make it a 3 fair here. I knew a girl in high school who defecated into an empty 24 count crayon box at a party $4.05. Oh, the memories. I work in retail, so I have plenty of stories on this. It would have to be a lady walking into the store and slamming the door closed. On purpose. The door closes slowly on its own. Behind her was a man in a wheelchair who was also wanting to enter the store. The lady slammed the door behind her besides holding the door open for him. It looked like she did it on purpose because of the way she was walking. Looked confident, proud, along with the proud expression on her face. Someone that the man was with did rush to the door to hold it open for him, thankfully. Girl getting spit roasted behind a club after her 19th birthday by two of her brother's friends. My childhood friend grew up to be quite the mom. She got pregnant again, which was strange, because there was no man in her life at the time, and she explained that her WIC was expiring. My exact words were, "You got pregnant for milk and eggs?" And she said, "Yeah. I don't need to do the math to figure out that the cost benefit analysis wouldn't end up in her favor." This was in 2014 and she lived in one of those places that costs 30% of your paycheck, and she's since died of an OD exactly 6 months ago to the day. Kids are with the grandparents now. Morbidly obese woman in an oversized muumuu dress was browsing clothes at a Belk's department store. She stops between two clothing racks, spreads her legs and drops a deuce. A large steaming pile. She then casually looks at clothes for a few more minutes and wanders out of the store. Probably the old "let's change this shoot-filled diaper on the restaurant table" move. Was volunteering at a Halloween event. Neighborhood isn't safe enough for regular trick-or-treating, so libraries, colleges, etc. hold events, and I was working a stall outside a gym. Lady holding a kid who couldn't be more than a year old grabbed a piece of candy from me without doing the activity and blew smoke from her vape pen into my face. As someone whose parents are both smokers, I know that nicotine addictions are nothing to laugh at, but JFC, have some decency and don't smoke, vape while holding your small child in the middle of a public event. A coworker who dressed inappropriately after weight loss surgery. Pretty much lingerie one time. Too tight, too short, too revealing. She was wearing tights as leggings one day. She bent over and I saw the style and color of her underwear. This was a professional setting. She was structured out of her position during layoffs the next year as she was a major pain in the ass and pot stirrer. A public breakup outside Westfield Mall in White City. Hoo boy. It was so loud and bad that I asked my boyfriend at the time if we should call the police for help for them. He didn't want to get involved. Dodge neon with truck nuts. This girl farted in a teacher's coffee cup when he was out the room. My mother's stepdaughter reported a labor and delivery nurse after she said that her smoking is what probably caused her son to be born premature. I just think the nurse was being honest and there's nothing wrong with that. A very drunk woman fighting with her boyfriend in a trashy bar walked over to the jukebox and played Every Rose Has Its Thorn. I got up and left. I saw two people having Shreks near a warehouse and a third guy filming it. There was another guy there, but he kept looking around. When they saw me, I just laughed and kept walking. A Lincoln Town car with a wing on the back and a sport badge taken from a Ford Fusion. Glitter on a dog's testicles. Woman from my school year with 4 kids, obviously different fathers, pregnant with a 5th, smoking, and complaining the social services were on her backside. I wish those kids well. I lived in Bakersfield, California for 5 years. We used to float the Kern River sometimes where it comes out of the canyon all the way into Oildale. Once a group of us were leisurely floating along and we could hear this splashing and gagging, choking noise. We rounded a bend and there was this like 5 feet 3 inches white dude absolutely railing an obese black woman doggy style. Every time he thrusted her face would go into the water. As we floated by in silence he looked up and said, "Fish ain't the only thing breeding in this river." That is the God's honest truth. My neighbors across the street standing in their front yard yelling racial slurs at the Hispanic and black university students as they walked or drove down the street. Same house has a preteen boy that harassed the 2 Hispanic kids at the other end of the street so badly that the kids won't ride their bikes up this way anymore, or even use the little park on the corner. They also got a above ground pool last year, and put it right in their front yard. Some chick getting fricked at a graveyard. Myself at Oklahoma 2012, wandering around in black cowboy boots, American flag boxers with my Marlboros tucked in the waistband, and a cowboy hat. Even better / worse, I was an artist, performing at the festival. I once saw a woman in Walmart with 3 kids, one of which was only wearing a dress, in the middle of winter in Canada. No socks, no hat, nothing, just a dress. The other kids had winter clothes on. I felt so bad for the baby. I don't know if the woman wanted to show off the baby's dress or if she's just that negligent. The pool baby was clearly freezing. My sister later then informed me that it was one of her teachers on maternity leave.